From Wish TV and the All Indiana Podcast Network, this is the Business, Equity, and Opportunities Podcast with Scott Sander.
Welcome to the Business, Equity, and Opportunities Podcast. I'm Scott Sander. On this episode, here's a look at what's happening this week in business.
Every business is unique and has a target audience. If you own or manage a business, Circulus Digital Media can help you connect and grow your customer base with turnkey digital solutions that are nimble, offering best-in-class results, service, and support to reach a bigger customer base, allowing you to pinpoint a specific audience down to the smallest details. Get outside the city, the state, span the globe. Put Circulus Digital Media to work for you. Get started now at circulusdigital.com. That's circulusdigital.com. This is Business, Equity, and Opportunities. This Week in Business.
Kudos to the Indianapolis Black Chamber for hosting this town hall. They've brought together a group of speakers to discuss just opportunities going forward today. We see there's so much activity here in our region. So much wealth has been created. Our region is going to grow tenfold in the next 10 years. And the conversation is just around how do we ensure that Black businesses are growing with opportunities in our region, have access to those opportunities, and there's actually a plan in place to help businesses grow and thrive as the city grows. The event is going to be on April 17th at Martin University from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. A wonderful panel, Pastor Green, Pastor Gurdon, Marshawn Worley, Anita Williams from the Indiana Black Chamber, Soraya Van Horn is actually moderating the panel. So we just ask for people to come, show up, be there in person. It's a dialogue, right? We want to host this kind of events and want to be a part of this kind of events where people come, ask questions, can learn from each other. But really, that's the best way to get the best ideas when you just have an open forum and allow people to come discuss opportunities. We don't want to spend a lot of time on a lot of the problems because we all know the problems. We know the issues in our city. We know what needs to be fixed. But a lot of times we don't have innovative approaches, true sustainable approaches on how we solve some of these problems. So this gathering is all around doing just that. What are some great ideas? What are some doable things that we can do together to start moving the needle on how we build thriving businesses? So we just have to look at the status quo today. And the status quo in Indianapolis, a growing city, is this. Black businesses make up 3% of employer businesses in our city. So let me say that again. That means 3 out of every 100 employer businesses in our city that actually employ people are Black. That's just something that we all know, everybody knows is unacceptable, that our city will not reach its potential if that number remains the same. And that number has been that way for so long. So how do we improve that? How do we set goals around where we want to be in 5 years? So that's kind of what we want to talk about and focus on. Here's the status quo. Now, how do we move the needle? And the only reason we can do that is because there's so much opportunity in our region today. Collaboration is used so loosely. People talk about collaboration, but actual collaboration and then measuring the impact of collaboration is the hardest thing to do. Getting people to come together around a common goal that's bigger than themselves, it's the hardest thing to do. That's why it just doesn't happen. But it has to happen. So in under-resourced communities, you have to collaborate. You have to come together, you have to work together, right? And that's what we have to explore and figure out. How do we do this together, right? How do we share resources? How do we have a shared vision and a destination? How do we have shared metrics to measure that? Those are all the things we have to figure out. When you have a community or a region that has opportunity, right? People wake up every day and life is so much easier when you're pursuing opportunity, right? So when you identify opportunity like we have in our region, we have to figure out how do we create access, right? Identify the opportunities, create access. To do that, we have to understand the intricacies of communities. Like what's going on here? What are the assets already available? So that way you're not duplicating efforts. Once you identify the available assets, where are the gaps? How come so many people are not leveraging these assets? So to do that, you have to do that with community members. You can't do it to them. So you have to roll up your sleeves, go in communities, sit down with people, right? All the way to the granular, right? To neighborhoods, CDCs in neighborhoods, churches, to really understand what's going on here and how do we work together to help fix this? What ideas do you have, right? So doing that and normalizing that behavior is what we want to do. And the Black Chamber does that really, really well. Organizing this town hall, bringing people together. There'll be hundreds of people there, and really looking forward to it, right? This kind of dialogue is really why we all live in this country, right? Because we can get a chance to bring people together. We may not agree, right? We may not agree with each other. We may not agree with each other's ideas, but there's a mutual respect for each other as human beings, as people, that, hey, I'll listen to what you have to say, and I know that you have the right to say what you have to say. I may not agree with it, but I respect the fact that you have a right to do that. And we have to normalize this kind of environment.
Our thanks again to all the contributors who joined us for this episode of the Business Equity and Opportunities podcast. We hope you found it enlightening, useful, and inspiring. You'll find more information about the show on our website, BEOshow.com. You can watch Business Equity and Opportunities Sunday mornings at 10 on Wish TV or live stream it through wishtv.com. Each week we provide 7 full segments with topics ranging from how to get started and how to access capital to the day-to-day running of your business and questions about accounting and bookkeeping. We feature business news and trends and always share a success story from one of our contributors. Join us next time for more insights into the world of small business. Be sure to sign up for our Business Equity and Opportunities newsletter to get even more valuable, up-to-date information. And if you have any questions or you'd like to be part of our show, please email us. The address is beo@wishtv.com. We'd love to hear from you. I'm Scott Sander. Thanks for listening.
Watch the Business Equity and Opportunities show on Wish TV and access all of our content and share it on demand anytime at BEOshow.com. You can find more podcasts from Wish TV on the All Indiana Podcast Network at allindianapodcastnetwork.com.